no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left.
Side stories.
Live from your glade.
That's when the cannibalism started.
Side stories.
Yes. Hello, Mr. Putin. It is me, Hilaria. And I wish you would...
How you say cucumber?
I wish you would stop the... Or how you say... The bombing.
There you go.
have
Thank
to fix.
you.
Also, my husband is innocent. He farted and pushed the trigger on the accident.
Hilarious.
How do you say, accidental murder?
You are just such a loyal wife,
I'm very
Hilaria.
Spanish.
I know. You're so not American.
You see?
Welcome to Side Stories, everyone. I am Ben.
My husband is innocent.
I know. He didn't do anything wrong, did he, Hilaria?
No, just very good actor.
Very, just like Stephen Baldwin.
You see?
Absolutely. Well, hey, everyone. How y'all doing out there? By the way, we heard... I don't know if you know about this. Hank the Tank.
All right.
We heard all about it.
No, honestly, no, Kissel, you're mad. You're
I'm
mad,
not-
first of all.
I'm
You're
not-
more triggered because everyone's like, Kissel, you gotta stop feeding the bears. Like,
Okay.
it's a thing you actively do, which honestly, you might. I don't know
done-
what you do when you're out of town.
We've done a show for 11 years. We've discussed so much content, so many controversial viewpoints perhaps expressed even.
What?
The most amount of DMs I have ever received in my inbox was about Hank the Tank, was about bears. I said that I would single-handedly give a bear a sandwich.
You're a bastard.
I did not say I was going to build a pile of food that then all the bears would become reliant on.
I seem to
All
remember
said
an
is-
evening that you and I spent at the Mandalay Bay, maybe this Saturday, where you said something along the lines of pop-up food truck specifically for bears, where you wanted to put together a food giveaway,
Yes.
teach bears how to cook seminar.
I would love to see Guy Fieri teach some bears how to make trash can nachos at Flavortown, which, by the way, Henry and we did have a wonderful weekend in Las Vegas. I did go to Flavortown.
You did.
It's at the Link Casino, and it was
Ugh.
truly amazing.
I don't
I'm telling you, it is elevated bar food. But Guy is it was Flavortown.
I mean,
Anyway,
sure, it has a flavor.
we do understand now. Hank the Tank was not just a bear. He is, in fact, 3.
I was saddened by this news because
What
I
do you
think a
mean?
lot of people were, because yes, the people are saying, oh, it's vindicating Hank the Tank. He won't be murdered. But I was so excited for
For what? For the blubber?
American legend that was Hank the Tank, the Paul Bunyan style folklore. Like I felt like it was a piece of American folklore that we were watching getting birthed, and I wish that we were a part of it. But it is true.
Hank the Tank is still a 500-pound bear. Now, this is another example of bearism and weightism. Oh, who's breaking
They're
into
all the
our
same.
hotels? Who's breaking into our refrigerators?
That one
Must
big
be the
fat guy bear. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't the fat guy bear. Maybe it was 3 little bears that ate as much as one fat guy bear, and now all of a sudden you're going to shoot me? I'm getting pretty upset.
You're already very heated.
I had to drive so many hours today.
You
and
did.
I've
You
just been
lost your
thinking
car
about
keys.
this.
You had
I don't
to
even want to
figure out
talk
a
about
way-
it.
You had to find your way back from Vegas to go right into our workday here. Honestly, you're in a lot better shape than I thought you would be.
I shouldn't be talking to a gas station attendant right now. I am talking theoretically to the globe. There's no reason why this should be happening,
right.
but anyway.
Here we go. So we got the paper of good repute.
Sure.
The paper of ill repute. New York Times.
The paper.
They basically, they're reporting.
The Times reported on Hank the Tank?
Hank the Tank got
We were in
more
the middle
bandwidth.
of
An actual, like the beginnings of a hot war
Perhaps,
with
yeah.
Russia.
Yeah, yeah.
This needed attention. This is big.
Well, how
So-
did they mess up this story?
There's no way. Apparently, yeah, they said something about Hank the Tank would definitely be pro-war with Ukraine. Like he's saying that, like Hank the Tank says, send in bombs.
I didn't know how Hank.
But the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, right? They said that they don't think it's acted alone. Now, this came out, of course, the day after we recorded.
Oh, naturally.
Now, according to the agency, I guess they have collected DNA from these bears,
Right.
for the last several months, and they went through the analyzed it real quick.
Did they have they talked
Solve
with
the murder of JonBenet Ramsey? No.
Or the Innocence Project?
No.
Like, so they just, we have so many different types of people behind bars. Maybe Innocent and DNA might be able to clear their name. But they said, no, this is where we're going to use
Hank the Tank.
we are CSI.
One bear was saved this week by
DNA.
But these are nature cups.
Nature cops are pretty cool, though.
Yeah, they stop forest fires. They keep squirrels from raping each other. These guys are honestly, it's really incredible what they do over there.
Okay.
Now they said they until this update, the people have been kind of mad about this because everyone's been pinning it on Hank the Tank. They're saying that Hank the Tank needs to get shot in the head because he is essentially like Two-Face of the bear world. Everyone's afraid of him, right?
And that's why I defended Hank the Tank, and I always will defend Hank the Tank.
And think about this, and these words by the paper of ill repute, New York Times, who's described Hank, whose portly frame and prodigious appetite were looked on across the world as some mix of admirable and relatable.
That is so much bullshit.
I hate them.
For a description of a bear. Also, portly, I was called portly. I was 54 portly. That was my jacket size. And again, I'm going to say well-framed, big boy, survivor.
I think it should be labeled as Marshmallow Man.
Oh.
And honestly, it's nice to be part of the marshmallow community. Now,
I would love to see if we were in Ghostbusters, just the huge big tit you would have summoned at the end. Think of something positive.
It's Gianna Michaels.
Oh my God.
So they actually said something that's very similar to what you just said. This is what the Wildlife Department said. Identifying bears simply by their visible physical characteristics can lead to misidentifying bears and therefore confusing management efforts.
See?
So they do acknowledge that we can't just judge a bear by its hornets.
Well, I am just so happy there are some officers in this country. Yes, sure, they happen to work solely with animals that take the time, not just to judge, but to also investigate and clear innocent people who are being framed by skinny, horrible, little
choose. What's your word?
Campers.
Okay, campers. Good. I'm glad it was not Jews. Now, I'm very thankful.
Henry Zabrowski.
But it's interesting because they're saying we feel like we should get them on human crimes. I feel like they should be doing human crimes because they turned this around real fucking fast, and they are now, because of the efforts and because of the general sentiment from the American people, whoever is caught for this so-called pizza rummaging inside people's homes, this forced pizza rummaging. They're saying that they will not be euthanized, that they will let the bears live. And I think that's incredibly nice. And it actually shows that sometimes, every once in a while, what we say matters.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of food and
it's a way for us to feel satisfied for a hot minute, so you don't think about all the other ways that you're completely disenfranchised or no one gives a fucking shit above the line in any way, shape, or form, and how we are manipulated by the U.S. government up until this day.
Well, it is interesting you did bring it back there, though.
I'm just saying.
You did bring it back there. Oh, I almost did forget because I was like, oh, hey, Tank, he's innocent. And then that's right. I forgot we're still on episode 5 of MK Ultra. So
I need out. I need to clear my mind. All right.
Well,
I am Project Monarch. I mean, if I went to the Project Monarch training, I don't know if I could get anybody I don't know if anybody would suck my dick. I don't know if I'd be able to suck anybody's dick. They'd smell me coming from a mile.
It sounds to me like you're about to stress eat because that's what people like you and I do.
I do.
Be very careful. Adding more stressor to the idea of stress eating. You heard this story. We talked about it. The student.
God.
He ate some old Chinese food.
This is not
much
good.
Like Hank the Tank would, but I don't think Hank the Tank would suffer the same horrible side effects this story,
man, this is really a story. It's a warning.
This is a warning.
It's a warning about what can happen if you aren't vaccinated against certain things as a child.
And to be honest, I can't believe that this didn't happen to us. We have dodged so many bullets. If eating leftover Chinese food can lead to what happened to this man, we're all in danger.
Now, I guess it's like he got some form of meningitis from food that was left. I guess he had it I don't know what happens, but he didn't get any sort of inoculations from it, right?
He said that he had he did not have the inoculation for meningitis. He also didn't realize meningitis was hiding inside of his lo mein chicken and rice.
Well, I didn't know that it could happen. I didn't know that it did work like this, but they're calling it a perfect storm.
I don't really know what it is.
I don't know either. It's a young man. He was 19 years old, and if you look at him now,
my God.
So from this leftover delivery food in his fucking refrigerator, he lost both of his legs, and he is covered in like weeping sores. His whole body is absolutely jacked. He's jacked. This is not good. He's bleeding. He's been vomiting red brown. That's all they're saying. It literally just says the vomitus was red brown. And the abdominal pain and vomiting were followed by the development of chills, generalized weakness, progressively worsening diffuse myalgias, which is also what I'd be like if I met Harry Styles.
Malaysia?
Malaysia?
Hilaria?
Chest pain, shortness of breath. I mean, I don't know what the hell he did. And then he had to do, holy God. He had
brutal.
106 fucking degree fever.
According to Dr. Bernard, he says this was a freak accident happening in a perfect storm, as Henry said, of events. The multiple organ failure, skin mottling, and a rapidly progressive reticular rash. The patient had this stuff going on for about 20 hours. And then he's like, I better go to the doctor. He went to the doctor, and that's where we're seeing all of the pictures. He looks like he is in 28 Days Later, and he is not one of the heroes. He is indeed a zombie.
It's not good.
I just didn't know I had to be scared of leftovers because I consumed all weekend those, number one, because I ordered about $500 worth of food on Saturday. On Friday, just kind of let it go through Sunday.
Sure. But no, that's fine. Because
I don't need this today.
And I will say, that this is not really vaccine propaganda because it's from the New York Post. The New York Post is really kind of like, they're all over the place with their opinions.
They're just fun paper.
They are pointing out that it's he only got one of the 3 doses of meningococcal conjugate, whatever the fuck it is. But he only got, but it's mostly just you have to watch out.
He did get the one that saved his cock.
God,
isn't that nice? He should have gotten the legs one and the arms one.
I don't know what kind of working condition his cock and balls are going to be in after this, because if it traveled all the way down the way it did, it's just not fucking good. And now I'm just like, you'll never eat leftovers again.
Well, after getting parts of all of his fingers, his legs below his knees amputated, this is according to the article, the man went on to have, quote, a relatively good recovery. So isn't that, but I feel like a relatively good recovery is like, I got at least one of my legs.
I could still see out the window. Like, you're just happy that you can see out of a window?
Oh, man. It's also just, I feel so bad. Obviously, true, we're kind of making some jokes here, but he's just a 19-year-old dude.
Yeah,
he does not deserve this. He did not know. And then it's also like, he doesn't get any benefits of being a war veteran.
No, nothing.
He doesn't get anything where it's like,
no sympathy. No, you don't get sympathy for this. No, nobody cares. Everyone's just looking at you. Mostly, I would look at you like, I fucking hope to God that doesn't happen to me. Yeah. Like, just because I can't deal with it. I don't want to deal with, or I don't want to lose my legs in that way. If I'm losing my legs, I will have earned that factor by diabetes.
Slowly.
By a life of excellent, high-value food choices.
Just like Waylon Jennings, who, when he left this earth, he did not have any feet because the bee just took him.
His feet beat him to heaven.
That's correct. So anyway, if you got some old food, be very careful.
I don't even know how you know if it's bad or not. Like, because Natalie is a little bit of a person. She's way more lenient with when she would eat like leftovers. I get freaked out about old food, and I don't eat old food. I get a little bit freaked. I know you love it.
I'm a tank.
But you're like that. You don't really get. You had COVID like 9 times. Your blood is thick. It comes out like sometimes your blood is white, which I've seen, which is strange. I don't know what happens.
That's semen. That is not. If anyone is just like, no, I just bleed white. It's like, no, you just came all over me. You need to stop doing that. All right. So be careful. Oh, and I wonder what, I hope someone called the restaurants, like someone took a shit in your lo mein. I don't even know how, it must be something fecal related.
It might be.
Which is also super nasty.
Well, because also you just don't know. It's one of those things where it's like why a restaurant will sometimes get a low rating because it's really.
No, because the clients lose both of their legs and their arms because of meningitis. They'll get a low rating.
I'd give it a B+, the
B+.
restaurant. You know what I mean? I'm not giving it an A. But actually, I don't know how. Honestly, side stories, lpotl@gmail.com. How does poo-poo get in our food without just because I know you guys, I love our restaurant industry workers. I love all our fucking people back of house, front of house. Absolutely love everybody. You are the true warriors of American culture.
You are.
You know that Dookie, it's not like you guys are taking active shits in food. And I know you won't do that.
Okay. I'm not going to say I had friends that may have done stuff like pissing in the pickle jars.
Yeah, that's different.
Then when they worked at Arby's. That's shenanigans.
That's not biowarfare.
It kind of is.
Sure.
But I also just wonder if it's just like booger boys. Just people are full of shit.
Oh,
sometimes.
Did you fart hard?
You could have farted on it as a joke.
Like, oh man.
There's
or did
a
you
lot of
fart
stuff
near it? thinking no one will know because let's say you're a
man.
cook and you been out all night doing fucking coke, fucking chasing after your girlfriend. You don't know where she is. She went missing by the
Sure.
shipyards. All of a sudden, she's texting you from another man's number.
Oh,
your whole
my.
life's a fucking wreck. And all of
Right.
a sudden, you got to show up to Flavortown. You've got this 6'7"
don't
man
bring
out there going on.
Flavortown in
Where's Guy? Where's Guy? Where's Guy? And you got to go and fight. You got to get that guy back on society's side with chicken wings.
I did not have a chance to see Guy, but I did have a chance to take a picture next to one of the plates the guy signed. And I just showed it to Henry. And Guy said, so Guy, you know how funny he is. He said on a plate, he said, I did what?
That's he's a funny guy. He's a funny guy.
God, Guy is there.
He's still got it.
Guy is there. Carrot Top also signed one of the plates. Wing, wing, wing. Hello, Carrot Top.
You know what? I don't like that one. That one I don't like.
What about that Bloody Mary that Kepper got, my boy?
Honestly, yeah, it's a very big Bloody
insane,
Mary.
man.
Honestly,
All
really
right.
good for him. Now this story is also about how, like, what I almost could see would happen outside of a Flavortown, because when it comes down to it, you know, customer service in this country, don't even get me started.
Well, you know,
It's actually been doing very well in terms of the fact that we're crawling out of a pandemic.
the industry is doing great, but if you're out there, one thing about Vegas, you people watch, and I did
I
overhear
love it.
some rude tudes
People
from
can
the
be assholes.
customer class.
Of course, they
I say
are assholes.
Be respectful. I mean, we're in Flavortown here. It's not gonna be perfect.
You're being invited
But it's
into a
Flavortown.
restaurant's home. When you go into a restaurant, you are a guest in that restaurant's home, and you should consider yourself as such.
Live from your grave.
This next story, because we're just almost sticking solely with restaurant and food
There's
today.
a lot
Why
of
not?
food crime today.
This would have never happened at Flavortown because a Texas man at a restaurant got super pissed because he wasn't given enough barbecue sauce.
I'm going to say it might not be about the barbecue sauce, but this is Andre Tomas. He's 36 years young. He's facing 2 charges of aggravated assault because he thought that
with a deadly weapon.
With the deadly weapon, because he said there was not enough barbecue sauce in his to-go order.
You know,
which is
this
also like, you can just go back and get it.
Well, that is one of the things with the to-go order. This is why every time I go to my Ralph's, that's here in Los Angeles, it's like what you call it's a grocery store here in Los Angeles.
It's a grocery store.
Ralph's. I always pick up condiments because you can't trust these delivery services to bring you the condiments.
You really do.
The condiment is on you.
This is about America. This is like how the same way we have to handle our own healthcare, the same way we have to probably teach our own children eventually. We also need to provide ourselves our own condiments that we want in this country, because you have the freedom to do everything on your own here.
And perhaps if that man would have put some Frank's Red Hot on that lo mein, it could have killed whatever the toxin was.
Or
then,
the
of course,
bomb.
Or
That bomb stuff. But okay, so he was like, he walked in, he got his to-go order, and he left.
Yeah,
he then came back.
He got the to-go order from a place called Dickie's Barbecue Pit.
I bet you it's good. I don't know. I've never. This is in Houston. Honestly, tell us if it's good, Houston. Now he walked back. He was angry and he was upset, and he said that because he said to them, "Hey, I didn't get enough barbecue sauce, right? Sure." And you're like, everyone's like, and they said straight up like, "Sure." So they gave him more barbecue sauce.
Okay, what's he complaining about then?
He then walked back out, came back in, decided that the way the handoff of the barbecue sauce went, like they didn't, I guess, like go, oh, Mr.
Were they supposed to?
Oh, Mr. Tomas. I wish this is enough for you.
What do they want? He wanted to get like juice, like, come back to the barbecue enema room then, sir.
I don't know.
We'll fill you so full of so much barbecue sauce you'll never want for more.
But then he came back and he says, I'm gonna kill everyone in this restaurant.
This is like a heightening of a situation that I don't think needs to happen.
Dude, and then he walked out and he broke the arm of one of the people inside of the restaurant.
Jeez.
And he went outside and he waited for people to leave and started shooting. He waited till the store closed. This is how angry he is. He could have went to the store and bought barbecue sauce and have put it on the food he already had. And the amount of time that he just sat and he waited for the restaurant to close. And then as people were leaving, he started shooting up the front of the restaurant again.
Jesus.
Side stories, lpotl@gmail.com. Again, email us. Is that place good enough to kill over?
I really don't think so.
Because this is Dickie's, man. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know if Dickie's is so good That's
Yeah.
why he needed this barbecue sauce? Or is Dickie so bad that he felt that, hey, you should be compensating me with barbecue sauce for me just patronizing the store?
I'm going to say Thomas might find himself back in jail. He has a pretty lengthy criminal history going back to 2009.
Yes.
He's got he's a pretty big rap sheet there, and now he's facing 5 other felony bonds.
Yeah, I don't
including
think
retaliation, harassment, felony possession of a weapon, assault of a police officer, and assault on a family member. And that had nothing to do with barbecue sauce.
No,
So
he attacked everyone. He was very mad.
It just seemed like whoever he interacted with that day.
He's been attacking.
Yeah, he's just going to attack.
And it's about the barbecue sauce. Now, here's another story that is very, this is a little bit more frightening, but it's also like, you don't really know your kids all the time.
You only know
really
it. I mean, you can only know them at some point. Don't they just become their own people?
They become adults.
They do.
They become adults, and you don't know who those adults are going to be. And sometimes they become fairly twisted up mentally, and then maybe they can come back and kill you. I don't know.
I don't know.
But this is a story of Christopher Clairbout. Now, this took place in Indiana. I'm not surprised. But he went and he basically he beat his mother nearly to death, and he tied her up with electrical cord. And he stabbed his father to death with a switchblade knife. And he said the reason why he did so is because he is both Donald Trump, but he's not. His name is something else. He's not Donald Trump. His name is Christopher Brian Clairbout, but he said that he was Donald Trump.
Well, he's not even close to the same age
No,
or
absolutely.
anything.
And then he said that he was black. He's not. Very much a white person.
Okay.
And then he said his parents were Bill and Hillary Clinton, which they're not because they're still alive. They're still out
Oh
there.
my God.
Right?
This guy.
He said he was planning to arrest his mom and deliver her to Guantanamo Bay under the quote-unquote War Crimes Act for the crimes that she has committed against him and the crimes that she has committed against the country. He came in, he stole his father's wallet, and then he murdered the hell out of him. Slit his belly open with a switchblade knife. They found the father dead in the front. He was like 75 years old, holding his guts in, like on the front.
He was in the front driveway.
He was in the
like,
front driveway.
Please, can you help me?
Yeah, and the people watched from afar.
What do
he
you
was
do
really
if-
very intense.
So you're the neighbor, right? You got this 75-year-old man, David Clairbout, that's his name, and all of a sudden you just see him doing that. I bet you someone just closed the curtains and was like, "Didn't see that? American Idol's on."
Well, especially if you're in the middle of a peloton.
Oh,
if you're in the middle, you can't stop. Your whole ranking's going to get fucking torched.
And then how are people going to know that you're exercising? Because you really want everyone to know everything that you're doing that might be kind of good for you. I just feel like I would really have a hard time. I would say I don't know how to help this person, but I definitely don't expect to see my neighbor grabbing their guts and attempting to put them back inside of their body on a random whatever day.
Well, he left with their car. So he stole his parents' car and he left it. And this is actually really, they found it because they found the father's dead body with what would look like a necklace pendant that appeared to be rounds of ammunition that were fashioned into the shape of the cross that he was wearing.
Oh my God.
Very similar.
That's from the Sun did that?
Yes, the son
that's
had
so
that.
corny.
Left him there. Very, very corny. But you know what's actually kind of like, I guess it's good, but it's also one of those weird things that kind of felt like a commercial in the middle of this article, is that they talk about how the car was equipped with an OnStar, right? So the OnStar, when they were looking for where he was driving, they located him on the OnStar, but I also didn't know that the OnStar could disable the car. And so they basically,
Crazy,
in the
right?
terms of like, it's kind of fucking... It's very similar to the Minority Report in a way.
It's crazy.
Where that from this corporate hub, they could shut your car off.
Yeah.
And then so he was left without a car, and then he had to run into the forest where they finally got him.
And one of the strangest things is the car was a Chevy Traverse. The license plate for the car, I am not a vanity plate fan because A, they don't age well.
They never.
B, no one really knows what you're talking about, and they're just going to make fun of you. But the license plate on this car read Prodigy. P-R-O-D-I-G-Y. So
That's what he is.
I also think these parents may have thought very highly of themselves or very highly of their son.
I think they thought very highly of themselves. Or maybe it was their company. Maybe they had a company called Prodigy. I don't know.
I don't know. Either way, it is a brutal story.
It's really very intense. And you have to be, how do we get here? Why true crime now?
Why
I don't
true
know.
crime
I don't know
now?
how you put all of these thoughts in your head. Obviously, it sounds like that he was very mentally ill, or
Oh
he
my
was, or
God.
at least very confused. Unless he was part of some form of psychological experiment housed by the U.S. government, I could see how you grew. Like, I just don't know how he became Donald Trump.
I don't know.
And
but
like,
the
do you think
parents-
that he saw Donald Trump in the mirror? Like when he like looked in the mirror, he saw him. He's going like huge, necessary, huge. Like just him doing his like shit
spray
ass,
painting his toilet cold?
doing
I
his
don't.
like perfect Alec Baldwin style Trump impersonation.
How you say cucumber?
How you say he should get an Emmy for never hitting a waiter? He hit photographer, yes.
Thank you, hilarious.
He hit the child, yes, but never a waiter.
No, you're standing by your man. They're kind of, but also I think
How
one
you
of the most-
say, give me a divorce?
Yes, there you almost said it. So Marcia, the mom of Christopher, she apparently was aware of this. She says he was ranting throughout the entire day.
Well, no, she had, because she was tied up.
Because
with
she was
him.
tied up, yes. And then so she said that all of those things that Henry just said, that he believed he was black, that he was Donald Trump, Bill and Hillary were the parents. And then she also said that he would just spit on her and hit her in the face. Oh, this is horrible.
Oh, yeah, it's very sad. He knew that she had
my-
problems with her feet, and he kept stomping on her feet all day.
This is a bad son.
No, he's a bad son. He's a bad son. he is
Bad
not.
son.
He is not going to get the Good Son Award.
Oh my God.
You know who gets the Good Son Award? Macaulay Culkin.
Always.
For his absolutely transformed performance
I love
in The
it.
Good Son.
You know, the Culkin family, truly talented.
Very talented.
I love the Culkin
I
family.
just wish I could be a part of them.
Yep. So, oh my God, he also insisted, this is according to Christopher again, and none of this is true, but he insisted his parents, quote, passed him around for sex as a child to a lot of politicians. Mr. Clairbout stated during the interview that he is Donald Trump again, and that his mother is Hillary and his dad
He
is
might
Bill.
have gotten
So
group sucked by the neighbors. I actually don't think that that's necessarily that impossible. Like he could have definitely been handed around like a hookah
This
to
is
a bunch of people that his dad worked with. I don't fucking know, but we know until we see that information. You know,
But this is why you do have to be freaking careful. And I'm a 1A, First Amendment. You can say any dumb shit you want, but also understand the power of the microphone, because this man obviously had no ability to discern what's truth, what's not truth. So if someone would say a conspiracy theory, he was just like, now that is a fact.
that has to be a fact. I heard it through a speaker.
Yes, because he uses terms like deep state operatives. Like, so it's just, you got to be careful out there when you are in the world of lying like Alex Jones to, at the very least, just say every now and again, I'm just making this up, by the way.
Or like, you know, I feel like there used to be more of this idea of like, this is just my research. This is more like, I'm asking questions. Like that idea of like asking questions, doing that kind
Bill
of stuff.
Cooper was the best. I'm just asking questions.
I'm just asking questions. And so I feel like there was some of that where there was some caveats baked in to kind of protect themselves and protect their stations legally. But it also kind of keeps setting the tempo for the audience to like, to at least remind them, hey, this is a thought process here. We're spitballing. We're trying to see, and not like this is what is definitely happening.
Absolutely. And apparently, according to the neighbors, they said they were very nice people. And then the neighbor also said, I didn't see it coming. And I would say, good.
What if she? I knew that this was how they were gonna die.
Let's not go.
I knew it.
We don't need to do pre-crime here, but if you did suspect it, it looks like he's about to gut his father.
Yeah, finally. And him and the wife just both go like, one gives the other $20. Like, I guess you win.
Today was the day. Also, the dude is now being held at the Hamilton County Jail. Ooh, speaking of fun things full of lies, Hamilton. Imagine you're in jail. You stole a couple of Snickers bars. Maybe got a DUI. Accidents happen. You know, and obviously mistakes happen. I'm just saying nothing nefarious. And this guy just walks in. What are you in for? Stab my dad. I'm Donald Trump, and I'm black. And my mom is Hillary Clinton. My dad is Bill Clinton. I killed both of them.
I'd be pulling up a stool. That's actually the man I do want to talk to. If I'm in jail for some reason that day, I'd be like, I want to hear how we got here. I want to talk directly to Donald Trump. I want to ask him all of these questions. What was it like filming The Apprentice? That's the type of stuff that you ask him then. Be like, what's the White House like?
Tell
and then
us.
see what he says. See what his whole improv character bio comes up with.
All right. Well, I suppose so. Well, this little story here. I don't think that you saw this one, Henry, but do you hear this story? Speaking of good fathers, There was a couple of kidnappers, and they abducted these 2 kids. And then their father followed the suspects, and he said, "Those are the ones who stole my children." And they were arrested.
What?
So I don't know. That makes me feel kind of good.
I mean, he followed them for how long?
For quite a while, this dude, Christopher Wade Schultz, man, he's fucking horrifying looking. He kidnapped 2 kids, ages 6 and 2,
God.
which, not to be like too, hacky, but can you deal with that? A 2-year-old and a 6-year-old, you dumb shit.
You mean to
this
tell
guy?
me-
Look at
Hey,
this
so
guy. You think he's gonna deal with a
So you mean tell
2-year-old
me
and a
that his
6-year-old?
life turned into the pedophile version of like, where's
Dutch?
my car? Was it, yeah, Dutch? Or was it Ice Cube movie where he had to like take all the kids to the mall? What was that?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I forget, but yes, I know what you're talking about. So he is. He's been charged, and it's just a good thing that this father said, you know what? I'm going to assume when my children grow up, they're not going to kill me. So I'm going to go and I'm going to protect them. And he was able to allow the sheriff's office to go in there, knock on the door, say, "Hey, man, you got some kids in there?" And then they got the kids back.
And here's the opposite of that. Utah father charged after allegedly instructing his 4-year-old to shoot at the police.
Wait a second.
This
What?
is the opposite day for this guy. So they were being arrested at a McDonald's. The man was not. His name has not been released yet, which actually kind of even nice. So they say. So he brandished a firearm at the drive-through upon receiving an incorrect order.
What is going on, dude? I'm telling you. You know how we always pick up on trends? We always do. We're on top. But I don't remember nearly as much fast food rage.
I don't know what this, again, this is transferred rage from other things.
Yeah, this
but
has
I don't
nothing
know.
to do with McDonald's.
I don't think so, but it was just this week had a lot. When they saw the weapon, the McDonald's workers, very smart. They really, they knew how to do this because they said, "Hey, what you need to do is go park over there. We got you. We're going to take you, all of this is out. We're going to give you extra food. We're going to take care of your bill." And then he went to go park to the side. They called the cops, right?
Yeah.
When they
They
arrived.
handled that like it happens all the time.
Yeah, they must have a manual. And there must be some way they made it like, when you are about to be murdered at work, here's what you do. Like, fake a milkshake gift certificate. You know what I mean? Like, to be like, "Oh, look over there."
Ronald McDonald will be out there any moment now.
Him just waving in the parking lot. "Yeah, go take a picture, photo op with Ronald McDonald." Then he's a cop.
Great.
It's an op.
Whoa.
So they saw that he came in. They said they went to go talk to the guy. The cops came. They went to go talk to the guy sitting in his car. They had their fucking gun out, right? And they're like, "All right, we have to say we have to clear out the entire McDonald's because now it's an active shooter thing."
Right.
And then when they saw the gun, they saw that the kid was holding it in the front seat and popped off around out the window, which
He
honestly
needs
is
to be-
well, obviously this is traumatizing, but also what a fun day with dad, kind of. I never got to do anything like this with my father.
Well, it's definitely like your last day with dad. So I guess he definitely they just well, let's do it all. They didn't really care.
But the cops saw it. They were like, "Kid." And yeah, the kid who fired a weapon is 4 years old. Yep.
Wow.
And it's not good. It's really not good because you really don't want them to get used to violence early.
You really don't. Also, in restaurant news, I don't know what is up with today, but in Wisconsin. Now, in Wisconsin, people, they tend to be like, I don't know. I don't think they get there's so much food that I just feel like they shouldn't be super aggressive.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, honestly, all over this country, I know there are supply line issues, but still, there is absolutely no reason to fight over
There's
food.
so much food. There's so much food.
We don't need to.
So a Wisconsin restaurant worker was shot in the face during a dispute over an incomplete order. Anthony Rodriguez was working,
Man.
and he was the only dude working at this George Webb location in Wauwatosa. And all of a sudden, there was these 2 gals, their 20-year-old sisters. They complained their order was missing a $3 hamburger. Okay, it must have been a pretty good burger. And then they went up to the dude and they were like, "Yo, man, where's our hamburger?" And then Rodriguez they said they weren't going to pay. And I said, "Okay, well, I'm going to take your food since you're not going to pay for it." And then so I took it away. And that's when they shot him in the face.
Oh, my God.
And then he said, "I never expected to be shot as a server." And then he said,
he's still talking?
"Yeah, dude," he said, "there's still big fragments in my throat from the bullet." He said, "I was in shock. I don't remember being in much pain, but I remember kind of internally freaking out and being very scared, just telling myself wow, I'm probably going to die here."
Guys, we have a lot of people that listen to our show that work in the food industry. And I'm going to say this, man, if you work for fucking Wendy's, That red-haired fucking bitch doesn't care if you get shot at work.
Wendy does care.
Wendy was
Wendy
the hostage of Dave Thomas.
The daughter.
Well, what's the difference? And you guys really need to not die for these corporations. They don't. Just give them the food. If someone's there
Seriously.
and it gets to a point where you're driving to a physical altercation, they can have the fucking food. It's just killing them anyway.
Exactly. So, unfortunately, thank God he's alive, but he has a 2-year-old son, this guy,
Good
Anthony
Lord.
Rodriguez, and the Johnsons have been charged. Those are the two sisters. They have been charged with attempted homicide, rather, and are being held in jail.
Is there a third offense? I feel like there's a lot of attempted homicide. Can't there be like almost homicide?
Yeah,
Can't there be like a
almost.
third one where like, well, you really tried to kill him with this one? Like attempted murder. Sometimes you're going to swipe somebody with the back of your car and you don't know.
Sure. I don't know if that would be considered attempted murder
Well,
unless
it depends
you
on
did it
when
multiple
you're
times.
screaming with laughter.
Well, that's right,
You're
like Suge Knight.
then technically, legally, you are culpable if you do laugh like the penguin.
That is entirely true. And then, of course, you would have to pretend like you were blind, much like Mr. Suge Knight did in court, and it was quite funny.
God, it was so good.
Rise from your grave.
All right. Well,
there's this other story of the hunt for man seen empty in bag of blood in Reading. This
Wait,
is in
what?
the UK. This dude was just fine. They don't know. It's very strange.
What do you mean?
Quantities of blood were found. And this is on Broad Street, Duke Street, and Jackson's Corner.
Duke
This
Street.
is very, very early in the morning. They just found literally pools of blood everywhere. They don't know what it is. They found video of just a dude with a white bag filled with blood.
Whose blood is it?
I don't know.
Where did he get all of it?
I don't know.
It was.
They said they saw the man walking outside his store. This was the guy. The CCTV footage had showed this guy emptying blood onto the street, and the blood found everywhere. They thought that the man might have been heading in the direction of the Royal Berkshire Hospital.
Okay.
They don't know. They don't know whether or not the source of blood is the result of an assault. But the police are saying they are going to keep an open mind.
Well, isn't that fantastic? Just like those great people when it comes to Hank the Tank. Owen Parker Brunt. That's the manager of a Wolf Italian street food.
Ooh, I wonder if it's good.
I don't know. Apparently, he watched this live with the cops on the CCTV camera, and I guess you just sort of got to enjoy the show.
Yeah, I guess. It left
and
all the
wonder
blood everywhere.
what the hell is happening. He said, yeah, we both found it very strange. It was extremely unusual to see.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. He said, I wouldn't.
No, if it was super usual to see, that's unusual.
That would
I'd
be
be like,
really
well,
weird.
they always come around and they always like to dump their blood out in front of my store. And now we've been thinking about calling ourselves blood dumpers. But apparently that's also a problem with the colostomy service across the street. They've been calling
dumpers.
themselves blood dumpers.
The blood dumpers. We got poop dumpers. He says, I just hope the person in question is all right and gets whatever help they need, which it seems like more blood. It seems like they need more blood.
It does also seem like, or they've ruined their own blood collection.
Oh, that's a weird collection.
It
but
is.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's do freaking Hero of the Week.
Yep.
This week's Hero of the Week, it's I've actually gotten a couple of messages. Some people saying, oh, I really enjoy the more abstract heroes. You've gone from people to concepts to, animals to whatever. This is the worst hero
that you've ever done?
Yeah. But he's also my celebrity cheat. I mean, I'm single, so it really doesn't matter. I'm not gay, so it's not going to happen. Not even if I was, I don't think that he would have sex with me. Ryan
It's a lot
Reynolds.
of rollback.
I know. I'm flipping. Ryan Reynolds. He says.
So Kissel, I just want to remind you that Kissel is naming Ryan Reynolds as Hero of the Week.
I'm
millionaire
Ryan Reynolds.
actor.
Well, it's because he's just like you and I.
Oh, yes. He's so relatable.
He is. Well, he is because he's so talented. He says his anxiety makes him feel like a different person from his public persona. So doesn't that remind all of us? So it's not so much Hero of the Week. It's more just like the Hero of the Week is remembering that everyone is going through their own turmoil and stress.
So today, I mean,
so
there's a lot of news going on.
There's
a lot of news going on. A lot of it's causing a lot of anxiety across the board. But we really need to pay attention to Ryan Reynolds' anxiety because of what he's feeling. That's what you're saying here. You're saying he's a hero because he's saying to the world, hey, I get nervous sometimes too.
Exactly. And he has perfect abs. He's got a beautiful wife. He's so funny. They interact on social media. I'm like, oh my God, guys, you guys are get a room, please. And can I see? But it is also nice to know that he also feels the same things that we do because
he
he's
feels
also
nothing.
No, well, this is what he said. He said, I've had anxiety my whole life, really. And I feel like I have two parts of my personality. That one takes over when that happens. And that one takes
Hollywood?
over. No, this is about being a fucking hero, man. He says, for example, this is something you can relate to. When I go out, like on Letterman, this is what he said.
No, yeah, I always. Whenever I'm preparing
like
for my massive press rollout of my huge multi almost $1 billion films. Yes.
Yeah. So this is what he says. So like when I go out, I'm like Letterman back in the day. I was nervous, but I remember being standing backstage before the curtain would open, and I would think to myself, I'm gonna die, and then the curtain opens, and I'm just gonna be a symphony of vomit, and then just like that, something horrible is gonna happen. He said. But as soon as the curtains open, and this happens a lot with work too, it's like a little guy takes over and he's like, I got this, you're cool. Isn't that fun? And he says, I feel like, no, he says,
sorry, audience. I'm sorry, everyone.
Said, don't apologize to the audience. He says, I feel like my heart rate drop, my breathing calms, and I just sort of go out there and I'm a different person.
So
and
many
I leave
heroes
that interview
happening
going, God, I'd love to be that guy. He wants to be himself. That's how incredible Ryan is.
All of these celebrities are now doing this thing where they're like, we're absolute filth hogs, just like you. Like they say all of this shit where how like they share the same like toothpaste water and they don't bathe for weeks on end. And they're like, just like you. And we're like, no, we live normally. You are an out of touch person. What I have heard though, actually, I'm reading this really interesting article right in front of me saying that Ryan Reynolds is actually in the middle of, he's actually in Ukraine right now doing a pro-Russia documentary, which I honestly think is really brave because we're not hearing a lot of that perspective. And I think he should be there.
He's not Sean Penn, okay? But this is what Reynolds said. He said, just to close it up, he said, part of him talking about this again, being so brave, is that he wants to destigmatize things like this when because even super rich, super handsome people have anxiety.
I know.
So anyway,
man.
Actually, now that I think about it, it really never gets better. And I wish there was someone who's like, after I got $10 million, every single problem actually went away.
Most problems do go away.
That right?
But then you are left, the actual truly scary problems go away. But then you are like, somebody like him then is left with himself and he has to figure that out. But still, welcome to the fucking club, Ryan Reynolds.
All right.
Welcome to the fucking club.
Well, I'm happy you welcomed to the club. I mean, you kind of yelled about it, but it was still technically a welcoming.
Well, right. I do like this other guy, the Sydney man who's trying to eat the fucking...
Oh, are you doing the segment?
This is the other...
Are you doing a hero?
This is a hero.
How much work have you done? What do you know about my special segment?
He's trying to eat a sausage at every Bunnings store in Australia. That actually is also very interesting, but I think he's doing it for... he's trying to raise awareness for sausages.
Well, interesting. Oh, I guess I'll do an email then for the if we're going to be switching roles. This is a listener email. Ghost. There you go. So
we should not be recording.
No,
today.
I am so brain dead. I can't even. I am a slot machine. I am a human slot machine right now. It's just all dings and dings and like you lose. I'm just like so.
But this is what makes us relatable. We also show up to work hyper fucking hungover.
We're heroes of the week.
We're heroes.
We'll take it.
No, you know who the heroes are?
Who?
The listeners.
Okay.
Here's a listener email. All right, so we got a couple of good ones. We got one good that said the truth about taking your clothes off to fight, which is all about not having anybody able to grab anything. It's hard to grab wet titties that are covered in sweat.
Makes sense.
Which I know.
Absolutely.
I know all about.
Uh-huh.
Now, this is really interesting. I'm an American living in Cambodia for 4 years, and I can give you some context on why a blood slave is not such an outlandish idea here.
Ooh.
This is from last week's episode.
Yeah.
Cambodia has one of the least developed healthcare systems in the world. It is not uncommon for people to be turned away at the hospital door during emergencies with no explanation at all. There's also no blood donation network here. So if you need a surgery, you need to source your own blood.
What?
That includes during emergencies. Desperate Facebook posts from friends and families of critically ill patients looking for emergency blood donations are fairly common. If you will need it for elective surgery, then you will want to source it ahead of time. Obviously, when you have a scarce resource that is literally the difference between life and death, combined with an ineffective justice system and no legal alternative, a black market will develop that will exploit people to the fullest.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Further, the town that it happened in, I wish I knew how to pronounce this, in Sihanoukville, has basically become a Chinese mafia boom town in the last 10 years, with residents forced out of their homes and jobs in favors of massive casinos and hotels. That seems very interesting. It's very intense.
Oh, man, brutal. All right, good to know.
One night I was sleeping alone in my bed, and I felt a weight next to me, like my wife lying down.
Uh-oh.
I rolled over.
Also a slight diss on your wife.
Yeah, I never feel Natalie lie down.
Absolutely not.
I rolled over and there was no one there, at which point I fully woke up.
Whoa.
I sat up, looked around, assumed I was dreaming, and laid back down to my wife's side of the bed, my preferred sleeping position. I felt the weight again, and I rolled over expecting to see my wife. Again, nothing. My eyes fully open, I examine the room, roll back over, and I close my eyes. Now this happens a third time. I roll over again, expecting to see nothing. However, I see a large, bulky shape, like a football player wearing pads under the blanket. And I immediately utter, "Who the hell are you?" I hear this guttural sound that says something like,
What?
The next thing I know, I'm standing at the end of my bed. There's a 6-foot giant black demon looking motherfucker just yanking on my dick in an aggressively sexual way. And then a long black python looking snake crossing the room and then slowly wrapping its way around my leg. I start hyperventilating as it seems all too real. And right when I blow my load, I wake up in my bed with a raging hard-on, right? No, I've never felt so scared and violated in my life. Yeah, because you got fucking raped by a dream snake.
I guess so.
I dashed out of the room, took a piss while basically standing on my head, checked on my wife who was still working, and then I laid back down in bed, staring at the ceiling, unable to sleep. You know when we got that pee-pee boner?
Uh-huh.
That's hard to get it everywhere.
Absolutely.
You spray and you spray and you spray and you
Triple
never
stream
stop.
sometimes.
And it hurts.
Absolutely.
So over the next few days, I felt completely drained of energy and then eventually returned to normality. Now, I've done a bit of research as I've never heard this term before, but it looks like something from Arabic mythology related to a jinn. I contacted an Arabic scholar that one of my friends knew, and she said not to worry. The snake was a sign of good luck.
Well, then, okay.
So it was a good fucking, yeah. But honestly, they're saying they don't know. This guy's freaked out, and he does not wish for a second visit.
All right. Please leave him alone. Doesn't sound like so much good luck to me, but all right.
Yes. Now, I can remember my grandfather telling me a fairy named Rodney lived in the outdoor AC unit at our river house and writing me notes from Rodney in pristine cursive and leaving them around for me to find. There's another story where my great-grandfather's ghost knocked on the wall to remind everyone how many years it had been since she died when no one seemed to remember, and a story about a ghost dog who barked at the evening news even after he passed away.
Oh.
This story is one that my father told me ever since I was a kid. When 9/11 happened, I was only 4 years old. So I can only remember walking by the TV and seeing the news on and thinking it was some action movie. But my father remembers the day very differently. Mm-hmm. All airplanes were grounded on the day of 9/11 for obvious reasons. But my dad clearly remembers looking up on that clear morning to see a blue sky devoid of anything other than clouds when suddenly a white object appeared, looking like a star in the daytime sky. Now, at first, it sat perfectly still, but then it began moving. Its movements were irregular, not in a straight line like the ISS when you see it, but slowly to one side, then back to the way it came before going up at a curved angle, then starting on its own course towards the horizon. He watched it until it vanished over the tree line, and he wouldn't believe it because everyone knew that all planes were grounded.
Right. And this is pre-drone era, I believe, 2001.
Close to it. Or, I mean, who knows what they had. Now, he always postulated that it could have been a satellite ejecting some form of heat to change positions. But to my knowledge, they go up in orbit and stay on a fixed path. Nothing can explain what he saw that day, and I may well have seen something similar, a light in the sky during a clear day that moved irregularly. Certainly not the ISS, certainly not a plane, definitely not a shooting star, and probably not just some story. The origins of this mysterious light in the sky might never be known. Just thought it was interesting to share, and it would be interesting to see if anybody else had the same experience.
All right, let us know. Oftentimes when the psychic world is shattered, which of course 9/11 was universally felt, maybe some spooky stuff happens.
It really is. It's very, very interesting. And very creepy, deepy, and dear.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so you guys know we're wrapping up this fucking bullshit You guys can go on the fuck Patreon,
You
right?
have to do Triple L.
We're gonna do it.
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna
are
fucking do this announcement.
You're gonna do it
first.
like this? Okay.
Yeah. In our Patreon, just so you know, we are going to be doing
Yes.
filmed episodes of side stories that you will be able to see only at the, I forget what number.
No smell-o-vision.
No smell-o-vision. We're going to be
No.
watching us, and that is going to be beginning next week.
Yes.
So join the Patreon to watch what it looks like when we arrive hungover in the studio. You can really see our gray faces lined with sometimes little bits of cheese sauce.
Aw.
Sometimes, is that blood? Oh no, it's jam, because we got the fucking, we got the pastry basket for breakfast, because you never know. So you gotta love every day. You gotta live your life every day, knowing that pastry basket might come. It might take 45 minutes. It might take an hour and a half.
Sure.
They're understaffed.
Did you get one?
Absolutely, I did.
Okay,
Yeah, it came, and then I loved it. I loved every moment of it, because I like a cheese Danish. I like a little mignon.
Of course.
You know what I mean? You go out there, you get a coffee. That's really nice. You go down to the Starbucks, get a coffee, live that life, love that life, and then you laugh just thinking about the fact that, I ate pastries for breakfast and I'm probably going to die soon because of the solar flare that's going to knock out the grid. But when it comes down to it, at least today,
Today.
I have a croissant in my belly.
And that's all we can ask for. All right, everyone, take care of yourselves out there. We'll see you real soon. We
Fucking
can't
better.
wait to see you all in Chicago.
Chicago town.
We'll be eating our sausages. Okay, everyone.
So
Hail
excited.
yourselves.
Hail Satan.
Magustalations.
Hail me, fucker.
All right. Also, check out our show on Sirius.
City of Wide Shoulders.
Yes.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.